And we're live.
We're live.
Smashcast number 45.
45, man.
45. Almost. We're almost catching up to you.
We're almost catching up to my age.
Almost catching up to you.
Almost there.
That's funny.
And we're now older than Reggie, but
We're
younger than me.
Oh, really? Older than Reggie now?
I think Reggie's...
I don't know how old Reggie is.
44?
I'm 44.
He just had a birthday.
Okay.
But I don't know. Reggie's Reggie. He's like timeless. So I don't know how old he is.
And he's Asian. So you know how Asians age.
Yes.
Slow.
Reggie's awesome.
Love Reggie.
Reggie's eternal. Well, he's not eternal, but he's timeless.
Yes.
He's timeless.
So welcome back, guys. Thank you guys for joining us again. Gotta finish my workout here. Sorry. So I did not walk for 48 minutes. If you guys are catching, I only walked for 30.
Yes.
So sorry about that.
Just goes to show that when people use apps, people tend to overestimate the calories burned, either by the app or by forgetting, and they underestimate the calories that they eat.
Man, let's talk about that.
So I learned a month ago that food labels, like we look at a food label and say, hey, this has 200 calories and blah. By law, they're allowed to be 20% off.
By law.
So if you see something that's 200, it could be 240, or it could be 160.
160, but you don't know.
You don't know. So isn't that interesting? Here I naively thought that if it says 200 calories, then by gosh, is there 200 calories? No, it's not necessarily. So it's supposed to all average out. Huh. But if in doubt, you're overcounting your exercise calories and you're undercounting what you're putting in your mouth. So what that means is it works against you doubly. So if you're like, hey, I only ate 1,700 calories and I burned this, but I gained weight, and you're supposed to be in a deficit, no, you weren't in a deficit. If you were in a deficit, you lose weight. If you did not lose weight, you were not in a deficit. Yep. Period. The end.
It's very simple.
Yeah. I mean, the laws of physics really doesn't have an exception, at least in this dimension. So. Yeah, no. So
it's, fuel in is fuel out, right? It's just like putting in gas in your car. You get an average miles per gallon. Yep. You're burning a certain amount of fuel. Yep. Per mile, and that is what it is. Yep.
Well, and you add to it the fluctuation of your weight for reasons of water.
Correct.
You had a big meal, plus, and then you go in body machines, they have their own measurement error. So
we're all full of error. So it's always better to undershoot your calories, and undershoot also your calories burning, right?
You mean report?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. So, just kind of an example today. I sat down with one of my clients and we just talk about nutrition. We just talk about nutrition, and he's been doing great. So awesome. Just an example, right? His BMR, so basal metabolic rate, basically what that means is your calories burned off of doing nothing.
Yeah, just existing.
He is burning 1619, so 1,619 calories. Okay,
it's about 75 calories an hour, roughly.
So, and that's only if you just lay down all day. This is how much you need, right? Yep. Or this is how much you're burning.
No, not 75, 67 calories. I'm sorry, did the math wrong, and that bothered me.
Dog.
I know.
Oh, hi. Welcome in. So his BMR is 1,619, right?
Okay.
His current calories right now, before I changed them, but they were at 1,750.
Okay.
So pretty
low, bro.
Pretty low. So we've got, because he really wanted to lose weight. So we've gotten him to 141 pounds.
Okay.
And his body fat percentage was at 10.2, and his muscle was at 72 pounds. Okay, great. That was last week's check-in.
Okay.
This week's check-in, he was still 141.
Okay.
His body fat went up by 10 to 10.6.
Okay.
And his muscle went down by a pound.
Okay.
So what does that say? Is that he's at a point now where we need to increase now his food.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So and he's like, man, increase. I'm like, yes, we got to increase. Yeah. So we increased it to 1950. Obviously, because he was already he's been eating a pound, a gram per
pound.
gram. Yeah, he was already there consistently. and his muscle was dropping. So what does that say? That means that we need to increase his protein. So I told him that our ceiling can be 1.5 before we're in waist.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Hold on. We have a comment. This is a fat bastard. I weighed 575 pounds, and you may remember me from Austin Powers. Oh, Borghetti and vodka.
Can you help me lose the weight? Interesting.
The Baltic Beast. I know who that is.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Paul.
He's something, man.
I love this guy.
He's a character. I
love that guy.
He's awesome.
Yes, we love to. Can you help me lose the weight? But yesterday, yeah.
Oh yeah, cool.
Cool, no problem.
We can lop off a leg. That'll get rid of some weight.
Yeah, that's easy. Two legs.
And we could probably do that in what?
2 legs and let's cook them and eat them. Anyways,
awesome.
So we raised his calories to 1950. I did the calculations also in a separate calculator.
Okay.
And to maintain his weight currently right now, he has to eat 2,050 calories.
Okay.
So we're still 100 calories deficit.
Yep.
But again, I told him your ceiling is 1.5 grams of protein per body. I told him that's a ceiling before we go into waist, right? So his ceiling is 211 grams of protein.
Okay.
And so I was like, let's not make drastic changes. Let's just bump you up to 170.
Yeah, yes.
And let's keep that consistent and see what we get next week. But I'm not going to see him until 2 weeks. So it'll be interesting what would happen here in the next 2 weeks is every time that he comes in, we weigh him in, we check him in, and check him on the in-body. So tools can be wrong, but as long as if it's the same tool, it's going to be wrong the same time.
Yeah, if it's consistently wrong, then you can look at trends.
So you can look at trends.
Yep.
So yes. What's up? How was the gym? Gym's been great. Thanks for asking. Nice. Come on by.
Well, so it's so his basal metabolic rate is 1600, right? So,
1619, yeah.
All right, so again, I apologize for not doing the math correctly.
It's okay.
So that's about 67 calories an hour in a 24-hour day. Cool. So it's important to know that for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
So let's suppose he does some exercise. He's doing a fast walk on a treadmill and he burns 200 calories.
Yep.
Right?
Easy.
Cool. Well, in that half hour, if he were to just exist, he'd be burning, half of 67, so 33 calories. So his net calories that he burned is not 200. It's actually 167 or whatever. But here's the deal. There's also compensation. So because your body is so awesome that it wants to maintain homeostasis, basically the status quo, if you do something like exercise, your body's going to want to say, okay, cool, we're done. So let's kind of calm it for the rest of the day. So if you burn the calories for exercise, but then the rest of the day, you are less inclined to do what you otherwise normally, instead of doing errands or something, you just kind of take it easy.
Yeah.
Then you're robbing the other calories that you otherwise would have burned. So the point being...
So explain that.
So basically, what I'm saying is...
The gym's really quiet right now.
It is really... Well, there's no music on.
Interesting.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that if in a typical day, you do errands, you do some cleaning, you do this, that, the other thing for an hour, right? But because you exercise, you're tired or whatever, and you don't do that, then all the calories that you burn during the exercise, you're not burning those same calories you typically do every day. So your body's trying to compensate by trying to make you not burn calories.
Interesting.
So there's a net effect of exercise where you don't always get the calories burned that you think you're getting because your body can potentially compensate. And that compensation level is anywhere from 10 to 50%.
Wow.
The average is like 30%. So if you think that you're burning 100 calories, after you take out what you would have burned just by existing, your basal, you have to cut that again by about 30%. And that's probably the real net calories that you burned.
Interesting.
For that day.
And so why does this happen again?
Oh, Stefan's here. Why does it happen? It happens because your body doesn't like change.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. So if you start an exercise routine, you start whatever, your body will be like, hey, this is kind of weird. There's all this energy you're burning. So I'm going to kind of slow down everything else the rest of the day.
So it can do that. It can stop. Burning, or it can stop burning the calories.
Yes, because the body's wonderfully made such that it wants to maintain status quo. But the problem is that it wants to maintain status quo. That's why it's so hard to not just lose weight, but keep it off.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other studies that say, hey, if I were to start a diet today, diet deficit, let's say, and let's see, can you help me gym training make my muscles? We'll talk about that in just a moment. But we're in Vegas. If you start some kind of deficit today,
yes,
right, and you lose 30 pounds, whatever, over the next 9 months, your body wants to gain those pounds back.
Yes.
And in fact, the hunger response from that calorie deficit all throughout that 9 months is so strong that it stays there. That hunger increase stays for about 2 years.
Wow.
So what happens with a lot of people, and I've done this myself as well, where you get to your weight, you're like, okay, cool, everything's now normal. It's like, nah, but what's really happening is your body wants to gain that weight back. So you have to keep fighting you have to keep fighting against your body to keep it off. It's not like you get to the top of the mountain and you're done.
Yeah.
It's like you just get to a nice new spot and now you have to keep on climbing in order to maintain what you're getting. But eventually, after several years, your body will be like, oh, I guess this really is the new normal. But it takes years.
It takes years.
And that's why a lot of people, after they lose weight, they will gain it back. It's their body ever so slightly, every single day, hungry for more calories, or burning less. And that's why it's hard.
Interesting.
It's why it's extremely hard. Your body fights against it, but that's the way that the body's built. It doesn't like all these changes. It wants to compensate.
But that's why I think it's so important to have small changes over a longer period of time.
Ideally, yes.
Would be
ideally.
better.
Yes,
because
ideally.
Because
yes,
I mean
that's right.
So like my theory of faster off equals also faster on.
100%.
But slower off is also slower
100%.
back on.
That's exactly correct.
Yeah. So Anthony Jr. messaged us on Smash Iron, and we'll be able to help you out, man. So if you want to gain muscle, lose fat, we got you, man.
Yeah.
We don't know anyone that knows sign language, but we'll figure it out, man. We will figure it out.
We will figure it out.
Yes. But that's why, I mean, with it, this has to be a lifelong journey.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it does. You pay for your health now or later. You get to choose, but it has to be. It has to be.
So I like that statistic again. So like for people that didn't really catch on to that. So if someone is Wells Fargo's calling. Not right now. Sorry.
We're busy.
I'll call you back, Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
But like, so let's give the people statistics again. So if someone's trying to lose weight, right? You said it'll take 2 years.
What it means is that if you are in a deficit for an extended period of time, then your body will increase its hunger level. I mean, there's hormones involved with all this. I think it's called ghrelin. It'll increase its hunger level for several years after you do all that.
Because it will increase.
You'll
the hunger level.
Yes. And so just because you lose 30 pounds in 9 months, which is pretty awesome to do, your hunger level at the end of that 9 months is going to be higher than it was when you first started the deficit.
The hunger level, huh?
So your body wants to maintain, and it wants to maintain some sense of normalcy. And when some people, not everyone, some people grew up overweight for genetic reasons or other reasons, but people who, gained weight over 15 years and now they want to lose it in 6 months, it's like, well, your body's used to this weight. So your body can't just lose it and forget about it. Your body doesn't forget. It's like, I need to be back to where I was. That's why it's so hard to keep it off.
Immediately. They're like, we need to go back.
It fights against you. Yeah. And again, it fights against you. And that's why it's so hard. But again, the body's designed that way because it doesn't want, it's an efficient way of doing it. So for instance, you go into the gym once and you're like, okay, I did this awesome workout. Your body's not going to build muscle overnight.
No.
It's like, it's a one-off. Like, why would your body spend all that time and energy building muscle if it's just a one-off? It's not. Like, what's the point of it? It's building muscle is energy intensive. And especially time intensive, but it's very energy intensive. If it would rather just say, okay, you know what, I'm just going to spend a little bit of fat here and I'm going to spend a little glucose and carbs instead, I'm not going to build muscle. That's why you have to do something every single day.
Yes.
Because you have to, your body is like a precocious 4-year-old. Like, you have to do the same thing every day and like eventually it'll get in. Like, this is what we're doing. But if you do it even for 2 weeks, your body's
sperm.
like, yeah. What? That caught me off guard.
It just reminded me of sperm. I mean, like I was watching this video of like how sperm gets into the egg.
Oh, cool.
Like it's.
Do you know how sperm swim? I read. I don't know if it's true. It doesn't swim
fact.
like a wave. It swims like a corkscrew.
What?
Yes. That's what I think. You can look. You have to fact check me.
Sperm swims like a corkscrew.
Yeah, the little tail goes like
just
a
like
corkscrew.
This? Oh,
which is actually kind of much more amusing than just like a fish feeling this way. Like if it does this, that's funny.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know if it's counterclockwise or clockwise, but someone have to fact check.
Should be clockwise.
Yeah.
We should look that up. We should ask ChatGPT if sperm
swims
clockwise or counterclockwise.
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting. But I mean, but just like sperm, we need to be consistent and persistent.
And persistent. Yeah, there you go.
To get into where we need to get into.
Yep. You have
to get the results that we want to get. AJ's
off
done.
screen. Yeah, he's done. He's done.
Hey, but what as so above is below, right?
Below.
So there is polarity, right? Yeah. And contrast in life,
100%.
Like how our nervous system is like roots, like a tree.
It is like a tree. Well, I mean, so that's a good example. Like when you first start lifting weights and you start getting stronger and stronger for the first 4 to 8 weeks, it's not because you're building muscle. It's because your nerves are becoming more attuned to actually communicating with the muscle. Because that's the easier thing to do for the body to do than to build muscle. Like that is the less intensive thing. It's like, okay, fine, I'll figure out how to activate these nerves and stuff to communicate to the muscle to be more efficient so I can lift heavier weights. But eventually you keep on lifting heavy and you keep on lifting, period.
Miss you, Jasenia. Come back.
Then your body's going to be like, okay, I can't, I've done what I can do with my nervous system. Now I need to actually build muscle.
Explosions.
Oh, we got explosions. All right, cool. Are they corkscrew explosions or just... I'm going to have to look that up when I get home. I don't like lying to the American public, but...
To the American public.
I do believe it's a corkscrew, and I think that actually... It took a while for people to realize that because they were looking through microscopes, and if you're looking down below and you look at a corkscrew, it does look like a little wave. So I don't know how they figure this out, but I'll have to figure it out too.
I love it. I love it. But I mean, it's just like I just wanted to bring that up because I just thought of it was just like a thought.
Well, then let's talk about eggs. You know what I learned the other day?
What?
So a female is born with all the eggs that she's going to have in her life.
Yes.
Which means, Carlo, you were there.
We've always
when your
existed.
mom was born. Which is
bizarre.
Which is bizarre. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Do you know when interesting? So because every egg is a life, right?
I believe so. Yes.
But same thing with I mean, we're going way biological right now, if that's even a word. So
an egg isn't an egg. You mean a fertilized egg?
So a fertilized egg can become life, right? But a sperm also is.
Well, it's an alive thing. It's organic matter, right?
I mean, if you think about it, it is alive. It's trying to survive. So sperm has to be living. It's a living.
Yeah, I suppose so.
ChatGPT.
Well, let me ask you that.
Gentlemen, carry on. I must depart for now. Goodbye.
I was going to borrow a joke from Legally Blonde.
What? Say it. What is the joke?
About sperm. So in Legally Blonde, they're having Have you seen the movie Legally Blonde? If you haven't, you have to see it.
I think I've seen it maybe once.
Long story short, she's blonde.
Okay.
She goes to law school because she wants to, be with the boyfriend.
Does she have a little cute puppy?
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And so the boyfriend's not interested because he wants to be taken seriously, whatever. And she's like, okay, cool. So he has an argument with. Wait, what do we got? Because of the journey of the make just to be here, the individual. Yeah. So Stefan's right. Like you do the probability of the probability of us being here is absurd.
So right. We're meant to be here.
So long story short is
Speaking on the sperm.
Yeah. If sperm is life,
yes,
then is masturbation an abandonment of life?
Yes.
Think about that. So that was her argument.
Interesting.
In this class.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Yeah. Apparently they're making Legally Blonde 3, and yes, I will see it. Big fan.
Big fan.
Big fan.
That's funny.
This is unhinged today.
Unhinged,
Yeah,
baby.
I had no idea we'd be going down some of these rabbit holes.
No. But they do say that sperm is life force.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's for sure.
It's life force.
Yeah.
It's our life force.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've come to a conclusion that sperm is living. Is an egg then living?
I think it's living. But is it alive? It doesn't have a soul.
Interesting. Okay, well, I guess that, I mean, you're right. I mean, does a sperm have a soul?
No.
No.
I don't think either. I think it's genetic. I think they're living.
It's like a
things.
plant. Is it like a plant? Do plants have souls?
No, I don't think so. They have vibrations and energy and interesting.
But they're
things.
they're also alive.
Yeah.
But if you speak to a plant,
yeah, this is unhinged.
Unhinged, baby. But
sure.
hey, we're getting really good comments today, so I love it.
This is good.
I think this is the most comments we've ever had ever. So
that's awesome. All you need to do is talk about sperm.
It only took 45 freaking
chicks.
episodes.
Yeah.
I just joined the podcast and you're talking about sperm. That's right.
Yep. Should we talk about semen retention? Do you believe in semen retention?
That's a good question. So, I want to say yes. I want to say yes.
Okay.
I want to say yes.
And for the audience, what is semen retention?
Well, I'm not super knowledgeable on it, but I mean, it's in the definition, right? You're retaining yourself.
Yeah. Got it. You're just abstaining it's like fasting. It's like
but the opposite.
Sperm fast.
Yeah.
You're not basically you're not masturbating and releasing your life force.
Yes. Yep. Which I hear it could be actually beneficial for you to do it.
Yes, I do that.
Right?
Yep, I do that.
Yeah.
But only for a period of time, because then it gets get too antsy. It's just anxiety.
I mean, I think it's just a man thing, right? It's just like I think it's like there comes a point in time, it's like obviously if you have your significant other or whatever, it's like
True.
Yeah, it's a thing,
yeah.
Right? But I mean, it's not like I think a lot of people actually get driven by that feeling.
Yeah,
right.
The primal feeling. Yes,
they
100%.
They get driven by that though. But I also think that it could be a bad driver though.
Well, yeah, it has to be channeled energy. For sure.
I think it can instead of like
if it's used for the force of good, then sure, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah,
I think it's a good thing. I personally like it's, and I had to do research on this, and this is more information than anyone would really want to know. But I actually
hold on. Do a 30-day test.
Yep.
Spank your monkey before you lift. Next month, no wanky, and see if your lifts are better or worse.
So for me, and I'll speak to that right there. I don't feel as I get older. I don't feel well after.
Spank your monkey. I've never heard of spanking
your monkey. You
your
haven't heard of that?
No.
That is.
You guys are too old for me.
Oh man, bro.
Spanking your monkey.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Really? Well, now you have.
My age is shown because
What'd you say?
I said my age is shown because neither have I.
There we go.
What?
He's
man.
a 91, just like me.
Wow.
Carlo is too young.
Yeah, that could be. So anyway, yeah, I don't actually feel very good.
What do you workouts doing?
Maybe send us a message, and we'll talk on that.
Yeah, for sure. This is a little bit of life of the of the inside of the gym. Talking about obviously today we're talking about sperm and eggs.
Yeah, sperm and eggs.
But I mean we're getting really good comments on it. So, anyways, keep going.
No, basically, you will. For most men, you'll feel the difference for sure. And
yes.
In fact, like when I Q Quentin, what's up, bro? So after I release,
yes,
I tend to feel like absolute crap for 36 hours, if not 48, and if not 48. Like I feel like crap.
Yeah.
And as I get older, it gets worse and worse. And I've even done research, and apparently there's a growing percentage, but there is a percentage of individuals that do that. So I try to retain, I'd say, anywhere from 6 to 10 days. 6 to 10 days is kind of like my limit for myself.
Got it.
But because I just don't feel good after. So it's like, why do it?
Yeah.
But then you get all nervous and you get like anxious and jittery, and it's like at some point you're like, look, this is going to cause me to do evil, so I need to let it go.
You know, but yeah, I mean, but sometimes it's you know, I think it's. I mean, I think you're asking for me. It's I've. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, as in like not do it.
Yeah.
Right. Or like just an example of like after women give birth.
Yeah.
Right. You can't have intercourse for 6 weeks.
I didn't. This is new information for me. I had no idea.
So 6 weeks is a
minimum.
minimum.
I would imagine because I would imagine giving birth is a traumatic experience.
Traumatic.
From a physical standpoint
From
for
a physical
woman.
standpoint. Yeah.
Yep.
So
I mean, your job was done in 30 seconds, but she had 9 months plus to heal. So
yeah, I mean, I can go longer than 30 seconds. Though, yes.
I just chose a number out of the air. Unless you want to really discuss your sexual prowess here on.
No, do not.
I was making just a flippant comment.
Anyways, it's
so 6 weeks.
I have to wait 6 weeks.
Got it.
And I do not like to do the other.
Yeah. Got
because
it. So
I just don't believe now in my beliefs. I just don't believe that's right, and I'd rather just wait.
Okay.
So
you're on a 6 week.
I'm on a 6 week, yeah. But like I don't know. I mean, as old as Malachi is as old
Gotcha.
as the retention has been there.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
And how's Malachi doing?
Malachi's doing good, man. He was
Yep.
he's been sick. He had this cephalohematoma on his head, which is just basically like a bump that got that he got during birth because like he was really big. He was 10 pounds.
He was a big boy.
He was a big boy.
Big boy.
And he's been with the cold right now. So
okay.
Been trying to deal with that.
Is he on the mend, or is he still kind of in the deep of it? Or do we not know?
I think he got over the hump. I want to say that he got over the hump, but I'm not 100% sure because like these Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, like I'm barely home. So I leave at 6:45, and I don't get home until like 7:45.
Long day.
So and by that time, the kids are getting ready for bed. We do the bedtime things, and then off we go.
Yep.
And so I'm gonna see how he is this weekend, starting tonight and tomorrow. And yeah, so we'll see. But I do feel like he's getting better. Mama went out to they did the first day back to school today for the homeschool.
That's cool.
And they met at the park, and you were in the conversation that Maximus did really well presenting his poster. He didn't need Mama next to him. He did it all by himself, which was amazing.
That's pretty impressive.
And Zena, she her first day was today as well.
Yep.
But yeah, so homeschool co-op. So they go once a week to a park that they decide on, and then they go over whatever they want. They go over. I think every mom is in charge of like a subject per every time.
Wow.
And so they come up with the lesson plan, then activity,
cool.
and that's it.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm glad. That's
so
great.
that was today. So everything's going good with fam.
Good.
Thank God, honestly, because it's just the worst thing ever when your kids are sick.
I bet.
It's
Is it worse than when Mama Bear's sick? That's hard.
Yeah,
I mean, when Mama Bear's sick, household shuts down.
Yeah, when Mama Bear is sick, that's a tough time for me.
I would imagine.
Sure.
It's hard to see, I would imagine, but it's also hard to. Yeah.
Sure. Because like everything shuts down. You're right. Everything shuts down. Everything shuts down. She's head of household.
Yeah, she's Mama Bear. Like. For sure.
Yeah. So it's just sickness in general just sucks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Mr. Paul, when are you gonna come in, baby?
Yeah. When's he coming in?
Yeah. He was in here the other night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And he had a good experience with a member.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They were playing really loud metal music.
Oh, nice.
And he was just getting off of work. It was like midnight.
Okay.
And yeah, he just it was in his cup of tea of music.
Right.
But a member ended up talking to him and yeah, it was good. But I'm like, it's community, man.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So he's getting a taste. He's getting a taste of it.
Nice.
But yeah, man. Paul, come on in, baby. Come on in, baby. During the day, not past 7. What was that? Super heavy metal. I work out to books on taps.
Oh my gosh.
It's the best. I'll be in more.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, come by. Maybe like I said, before
Paul's like listening
before 7 o'clock.
to, quantum physics and
Quantum
understanding astrophysics and stuff.
Tapes. How are you, dog? Have you had a week?
I've had a week, man. It's been strange. It's been a strange couple of weeks, and I'm not the only one feeling it.
No.
So this is not just me. I know from several other individuals in my broader circle that their just vibes are off and all that. Like just something's blah. But I think there's a lot of uncertainty, just in general. Environmental, it's being created, but uncertainty in people's lives and uncertainty, slapped on us and all that kind of stuff from everywhere. Because, when people are uncertain, they're easier to control, but that's another conversation.
So let's not be uncertain.
That's the hard part. That's the hard part. Yeah, but unfortunately, for good or for ill, my analytical brain likes resolution and uncertainty.
And certainty.
Yeah, it does, unfortunately. And there's good things for that and there's bad things for that. The good things for is there's always a push to understand what's the capital T truth, right? So that's a good pursuit. The bad thing is that, sometimes you're never ever going to get this certainty no matter what you do. Like, even learning about some of this nutrition stuff, going back to that, like I did not realize, there's a science behind it, but boy, in all these numbers, there's so much error that you just have to start somewhere and then adjust. But if you think that you're going to say, okay, I have it all right, I'm going to pick some numbers and I'm just going to go with that, and I don't have to, I can fix it and forget it. Like, no, you can't do that. It's just
that's just life, man.
I know.
And
but that's interesting.
That just proves, right, that nothing is perfect. Ever.
No.
And it's not meant to be, right? Because I think we're meant to go through
not in this plane, that's for sure.
Yeah. We're meant to go through the journey. And I think it is all about the journey, and it is all about the day by day and the day to day.
Yep.
We talked about this today.
Yeah.
the day. It's just seeing what we can do today.
Yep.
Being grateful for today.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the how matters. I was actually talking to Sean earlier today, where it was like, hey, Sean, where are you in your training and stuff, and because he's done different types of training, just like most of the gym bros here.
Steak and eggs is pretty perfect.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you're right about that.
I actually was thinking about having some today.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's going to be one of those days, I think.
I think I ate enough for.
I think you probably ate enough for
family.
Yeah,
for
probably
one meal.
so. Like I almost felt full after you told me that you ate it. And I was like, oh my gosh.
I had to do a 30-minute walk before this podcast. That's why we're late.
That's why we're a little bit late. That's okay.
It's okay.
We got our steps in.
We got time.
Yeah. So anyway, basically, I was talking with Sean, and the how matters more to me now than the what. Because I told him that I kind of accidentally told you yesterday. I wasn't even realizing what I was saying. That I just don't like strength training. Just don't like it. Like it just kind of slipped out when I was talking to you. I was like, I just don't like doing it. And the how matters, and I'm really excited about this competition. We have 3 flights by the way,
officially
for December.
Yes,
which is awesome.
December 7th.
But it's like you learn. It's like, you know what? I just, but I'm still enjoying the training portion of it.
Let's talk about that just for the remaining of the podcast. Why are you currently?
Yep.
Because nothing is definite.
Correct.
Why are you currently not liking strength training? What about it?
Well, so it's a good question. So there's a couple of things that are so first of all, I don't like competition at all. I don't like competing against myself. I don't like competing with you. I don't with others. Like this thing I'm doing in December, first and foremost, is to represent Smash and fill the ranks. That's number one.
Yeah.
And number 2 is to support the other people. How I actually perform, I really don't care. I don't even like tests. But with strength training, it's very singular. Like you have to lift 270 for 1 rep, and you do it or you don't. But with like hypertrophy training, it's like you can go 10 to 12, and like, okay, cool, I got 11, awesome. Now I know what to do for next. There's more leeway. And it's so intense for me. I don't recover well. Doesn't matter how well I sleep, whether I do the cold plunge, whether I eat. Like, it helps a little bit. I just don't recover well. I never have. I've had to pull back on training and all that kind of stuff. So for me, it's just too intense. I'm too old and too tired. But it's not for me. It's not for me.
Okay.
It's just not for
because
me.
the intensity is too much.
It's too much. It wipes me out.
Yeah.
Like, it wipes me out.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And some people love that, and some people are very good with that.
Yeah, I can understand.
But for me
that.
personally,
yeah,
not for me.
I felt that. I felt
Not for
that
me.
with strongman, and sometimes I feel that with jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
It depends on how hard I go.
Yep.
But I can definitely understand that.
But you're still, so all this said,
Yeah.
you're still doing something, and you're still kind of going toward a goal of some kind. It's important to understand kind of a direction where you need to go. But it's okay to be honest with yourself and say, you know what, like, I don't like this. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
But it's good to know about yourself, and,
Yes.
and things can change, and that's all. But
Things will change.
yeah, I know. Which, I resent sometimes, but I'm actually very happy that things change. Sometimes you're like, wow, I could not have seen that coming, but boy, I'm glad it came. That's for sure.
Yes.
But yeah, you just kind of, I tweaked my training just last week and this week, and I just discovered that about myself, and it's like, okay, cool. I mean, I'm on like phase 5B, and I'm starting phase 6. I'll be in January or December after this meet. And so you allow yourself to
Love
evolve. And you did the same thing over your training.
Yeah.
I mean, I found out that Connery used to play baseball.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yep.
Like, the Prophet himself plays baseball?
Yep.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And Reggie was a fighter?
Yep. For a few years.
Amazing.
For years.
Like, it's amazing to me.
Yep. I mean, I grew up in sports all my life, but I've always been the bigger guy. Like, always been just the bigger guy.
Carlo mad, Carlo smash.
Yes.
I will forever be grateful to Natalia. I will forever be grateful to Natalia for capturing that moment.
That's so funny. Because it's true, man. It's just my friends will just bug me so much to get me to the point of anger and rage.
Yeah, rage.
Literally rage. And they just laugh. Just because it was just crazy on how mad I used to get. And it's funny now, but like,
when's the last time you were that mad?
I don't
Like, rough timeline. Last week, last year,
no,
last month?
I haven't unleashed that in a while.
Okay. So it's been a while.
Yeah, maybe like early jiu-jitsu days, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah, my old coach used to call me a gorilla. Like, he was like,
Nice.
Carlo, you can't just be a gorilla. People are not gonna want to roll with you. You need to calm down. So like that's
wow.
Yeah. So because he saw it, he's like, you can't just be gorilla all the time.
Got it.
And so
Wow.
that's it. So I mean, but I've calmed it down. It's like
That's awesome.
It takes me a while now for someone to get me angry like that.
Riled up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, for me, it's like it wipes me out.
I
Like,
bet. I bet.
I get to that level, and some very close friends have seen me to that level. Even my wife has seen me to that level because of she's seen me train jiu-jitsu, and it wipes me out.
Wow. Okay.
It wipes me out like nothing.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
it's.
So you need to go back and like recover for a while after an episode like that.
I mean, the next day I'm fine, but I'm for that moment, for that time, like, I'm.
Wow. That's amazing.
Someone can just turn me over and kill me because I won't have the energy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
But
incredible.
that's why I don't like unleashing it, because
it just takes it out of you.
it just takes too much out of me,
leaves you a
and
little bit vulnerable.
and it leaves me vulnerable.
Yeah. That's fair. So it's almost like
Yes.
it's good to have an emergencies, but if it's not an emergency, then you need to keep that under wraps.
No, I for sure keep it in the wraps and
Yeah.
keep it in there.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, it's there, but it's just like, again, I don't like.
Yeah.
It's something that it was in my childhood and in my young days, and
Love it.
that's it. And then maybe in competition it'll come out again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it came out in competition and wrestling. I've dislocated somebody's shoulder before.
Oh wow. Intentionally? or
Kind of intentionally.
not? Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, because it's okay. So you know how when the Hulk like takes over.
Yes.
Sometimes, like, Bruce doesn't have control of the Hulk anymore. And I even found out about when Hulk loses control, he turns into another thing.
Oh,
I
really?
think it's like Titan Hulk.
Oh wow. Okay.
And Titan Hulk there is no controlling Titan hold,
Wow.
like at all.
Interesting.
So same thing with that. Like when it turns over,
Yeah.
it's hard to control. So it's like with this guy, like he got me to that level, and like I dislocated his shoulder, and I proceededly kept slamming him.
Wow.
And it's just like until the match was over, I'm like, oh, what happened?
Did you know?
No, I didn't know I dislocated his shoulder until after the fact.
Wow. Did you know that when things were going, that
Carlo
you were going
went
that
into
hard?
smash mode. Yes. Kind of intentionally dislocated his shoulder. Kind of suspect.
Just don't get me there.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like it'll take, because that's why I love jiu-jitsu so much,
Yeah.
because it has taught me.
Yes, which is
It has taught me restraint.
Yeah, which is paradox, but
It's taught me restraint, and that's why I love jiu-jitsu, and I will tell people to do jiu-jitsu all day, every day, because as a white belt, there's no restraining you. It's like the if you want to know how a street fight will feel like, get like spar with the white belt, because that's exactly what a street fight will be like.
Got it. Interesting.
Is sparring with the white belt.
Interesting.
Because they just don't know. They don't know how to restrain themselves yet. They don't know any technique.
Yeah.
They're just like, I don't want to die.
Yeah.
And so they're in full adrenaline mode, because they just don't know how to control that right now.
Interesting.
And so, I mean, I've been doing this, I want to say 7-8 years now.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, it's taken time, but it's like I'm singing now while I'm rolling.
Really?
Like if there's a song on, I'm like singing.
Nice.
And because I need to stay calm.
Yeah.
The more calm I am, that I will win, because like I'm spending less energy.
That's really interesting.
Because rather other person's trying to spend energy and whatever and go into rage.
Yep.
Right? Now I've gone over that mountain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, like don't go there, because that is a self-destruct button.
Yeah.
And then rather just be chill, and then explode when you need to explode, and just kind of flow, right?
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, it's great. I that's why I love jiu-jitsu, because it teaches you restraint.
That's cool. That's cool.
Interesting, right?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Like I've heard that from other people, but it's nice hearing your story on that.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't intentionally want to hurt people ever. I'm at that point now. It's just like, it's like before, like it was like, well, if I was in a fight, I was in a fight, right? But like now it's like even in competition, like I don't want to hurt anybody, because at the end of the day, like that's their career. Like like most of these men that I'm probably gonna go against, like they got jobs to go to. Like I got a job to go to. I got a family to provide for. So it's like I'm gonna keep you as safe as possible, but we're going to be on that line, because that's the line that we chose to be on.
That's right. That's fair.
And that's why every time that I'm done with jiu-jitsu, I'm very grateful that I made it out alive. Because like you never know, man. Freak accidents happen all the time. You never know when you're gonna get injured. And so it's like every time that I leave that room, I'm like, I'm so happy that I'm not injured right now. And that's like all you can think about. It's like, oh, I'm.
That's amazing. That's cool.
Because
cool.
you are riding that line.
Yeah. I would. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Because at the same time too, if it's not their head, it's your head. So you're also protecting yourself.
That's right.
But you also don't want to give up too much. Right. If you give up too much,
there's a lot of balancing.
There's a lot of balancing, man. Yeah. So don't get it twisted. I'm a gentle giant.
Gentle giant.
But
just
but
don't get mad.
Just don't get me mad. or don't screw me, man. Because like, I'm that's the thing about me. I am open arms, and I will bring you in like family. But like, you screw me once and you're dead to me. You're seriously dead to me. And like that's in that I'm trying to work on that, because I feel like I want to reach out to old people that I've done that to, so just so I can say, hey, like, I'm sorry if I ever did you wrong, if you felt like I did you wrong. And then kind of just so I can clear my slate. I've actually been thinking about that lately.
Interesting.
But
do you think that would solve things? Like what
I don't think it will solve anything but me. Right, because they say forgiveness is not for them, it's for you.
That's what I hear. But true. But let's suppose you go back to individual X and they've already written you off as well. Like, what if they get mad all over again? Like,
what are they gonna do?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
like,
what are they gonna do?
So you're like, okay, cool. I've said my piece, so I'm done.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Right? Hold on. If a white belt oil checks you, are you going to kill him or brush?
Oh, Paul, I love you, dude.
That's
I love you so much, man. Well, if a white belt's gonna intentionally oil check me, yeah, it'll be pretty close to rape.
Carlo would ensure that individual never
Pretty close.
does that again, never tries that again.
Yeah, pretty close.
I mean, there are certain lessons that need to be learned.
Man, there's something
Mariah's on.
There's something
Mariah?
about buttholes, and my butthole's sensitive. Do not mess with my butthole.
But we have really talked about the nether regions today.
We have. So, just a conclusion, just a wrap around, because Mariah's here. We talked about eggs, sperm, nutrition,
and buttholes.
weight loss, and buttholes.
Yes, that's what we did. That's what we
And
did
and
today.
dislocating shoulders.
Yes.
When I go angry.
We've caught you up.
That's hilarious.
Good times.
Do you ever want to go back to self-defense? Because did we finish, or do we have one more session?
Yeah, my mind was finished.
Okay.
So honestly,
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah, it's been a great time. This is unhinged. We're almost
Unhinged, baby.
getting into after dark territory.
After dark.
So long story extremely short, I just felt physically ill doing all that tumbling, right?
Okay. Yeah, I
so
remember
what
that.
I learned during the self-defense is that I'm essentially screwed. and I mean that in a very objective way. I recognize that no, it's not going to happen. I'm not.
Okay.
No. But it's a good lesson to learn about yourself. I never thought I could really actually defend myself. Never really thought that, and now I know for sure.
Well, we
can't.
I mean, I think we got pretty far.
We got some things, but
And
it's good to know.
Just like with everything else.
No, I know.
You have to.
That's fair, but I also don't want to throw up all over your mat.
Yeah.
But it is good. It's good to know. It's good to know that about myself. That
Okay.
I really can't defend myself. So even
I mean, personally, as a friend of yours, I don't want you. That's for me doing an injustice to you.
No. That's
you know?
not your fault. No. I'm physically awkward. I don't move right. My upper body doesn't communicate to the lower. It just doesn't. I get sick even doing a somersault. Mr. Dog, what's your bench max at now? 265.
Thumbs in the eyes
Never fail. Oh, that's a good point.
You can defend yourself.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay. Yeah.
But it is.
Thumbs in the eyes.
It's nice to know your place. In a way.
part.
Oh yeah,
up
that.
the nose.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. But I do have one. I have one thing going for me.
Krav Maga. You can try Krav Maga.
Doesn't.
It's I don't know if it's Russian or not, but
Who does that?
It's all about eye gouging.
Oh really? Okay.
Not eye gouging. I don't know if it's eye gouging, but it's more like lethal hits or something like that.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm not a fan of it.
Someday. Yeah.
Someday.
We'll see. We'll see. Right now, I kind of own the intimidation
Factor of
it. So I look like someone you don't want to mess with for a variety of reasons. I'm not all that big, but I'm kind of weird and eccentric. So people kind of stay away from me. That's enough. And then if someone actually interacts with me in a way, then I'll just probably run around.
I'll be coming around the corner.
Yeah. If you're gonna mess with me here, then there are plenty of guns and big men here that can take care of me. But
that's right.
But it's good to know.
I got your back, Don.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's good to be honest with oneself. I mean, I don't want to look at it this way. I don't want to think that I can defend myself and then find out in a real fight that I can't. So there are many things that you taught me. What you taught me is the capital T truth. I am just not really able to defend myself. And I'm okay. So I'm not going to put myself in situations that I shouldn't put myself in.
Just don't tumble and just, and you should, just do the techniques that that can separate you from the perpetrator.
Yes.
And so then you can just run.
Increase distance. Yes, and run
that's
away.
It.
Run away bravely.
You want to
run away bravely.
But that's the thing about self-defense that we first say is that first and foremost, situational awareness.
Oh, now that's one of the takeaways I had.
Yeah.
And I'm very good with that. I'm much better now because of that.
Yeah. Situational awareness.
So that was
Right.
100%.
Don't be on your phone. Be,
be
aware
aware.
of what's going on around you.
Stand tall, just
Yeah.
take everything
Look
in.
people
Look people in the eye, say hi,
Yeah.
or at least engage. And because people, you don't want to look like a victim.
Correct.
I mean, I know I could be a victim,
Correct.
but I try not looking like one.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to engage with people.
Yeah.
And because
Yeah.
these people they don't want engagement.
No, they don't.
Right?
They want something easy.
They want easy.
Yeah.
Correct. And then I've seen interviews with these people before. So it's like they are looking for victims. They're looking for let's say a man that looks weak.
Yep.
Right. They're looking for a woman by herself with kids or something like that. So like it's it's very important to be confident,
aware, confident. Yes.
when you walk.
Yep.
When you're aware, when you like see things and whatever.
Yep.
So that will get you out of more danger than anything.
Yeah.
Is that.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Second is if someone does engage, you don't want to essentially engage back, right? You want to do everything you can to disengage, run, and get help.
Yeah.
That's 2.
Cool.
Right? And then 3, if then they have you, right, then you need to learn how to get yourself
that's the part
out.
That's the part that
Right?
I need to fix.
Get
I need to
yourself,
work about.
get yourself out.
Yep.
Do whatever you need to do. Toss them, break them.
Yep.
XYZ.
Yep.
But like, there's levels, right? So,
Yep.
so for people even listening to this right now, you need to have levels to your defense.
Yeah.
It's the same. Jiu-jitsu teaches that.
Oh, I bet.
There's levels. There's like you need to build your guard. So there's levels. So when people start passing that guard, there's certain levels and certain levers that you need to pull.
Cool.
To let people know it's like do not come more further, because if you go more further then you're gonna get swept or whatever. Or you can throw a submission in when they pass a certain level, right?
Got it.
And so you're really playing chess with some people with this. So
I bet.
Yeah,
that's cool, man. Like I said, I think in an alternate world, I mean, I love the whole concept of jiu-jitsu and everything that can be learned with it, for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
Like I in an alternate world, I would love it if I started. But I mean, I also started lifting weights like relatively late in my life too. So I'm kind of 15, 20 years too late for a lot of this stuff.
I don't think so, but
we'll have a conversation.
You
also think I need to step on stage too? And
I do.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I
either.
do. So okay. Last story. I know a guy, and I will always remember him. His name's Tom.
Tom.
He started jiu-jitsu at 50 years old.
Wow.
And he got his black belt at 60.
No kidding.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And he actively competes.
That's amazing.
And he's a tough role.
That's amazing. That's cool.
So for anybody out there, there's hope.
There's hope.
There's hope.
That's
because
amazing.
Tom did it. You can do it.
That's amazing.
He got his black belt. 50. He started at 50 years old.
That's really cool.
You're like, but that's not for me.
No, it's not for me. Well, if I can not throw up on the mat, like once again, let's get past some basic physiological issues that I have. Like seriously, let's get past that first.
I just think it's just time.
Maybe you just believe in me more than
I do. I have faith, man. I have faith.
Yeah, but it takes me about a year to catch up.
Okay. Well, we're gonna try it again.
Yeah.
Let's go round 2 of self-defense.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us here at Smashcast number
What a show.
45. What a show.
What a show.
What a show. Thank you guys for the engagement. We love you
Yeah, it was
guys.
fun.
For the 2 people that are on, I appreciate you.
Yep.
Paul
Paul's still
and
on.
Earl, I love you, Paul. Man, he's actually a really good rolling partner with me.
Is he?
Oh, I love.
Why?
He
Just because he gives it back to you? Or?
He gives it right back, baby.
I love it.
You should try again. My dog, Big Steve, comes. My dog.
Oh, Big Steve. Yeah, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve comes to jiu-jitsu too.
He does.
Change with Ronaldo.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does well.
It's a good point.
Anywho, thank you guys for joining us. We love you. Catch you guys on the next time. We're live every Thursday.
Yes.
Time is between 12:30 and 1.
Yes.
Join us.
Join us.
Bye.
Bye.